Hey, you guys. Good morning. It's Maria from the Fox 11 newsroom here in Los Angeles, and joining me now is Officer Cooper, aka you may know him from Southland. We've got Michael Cudlitz joining us this morning, talking about the awesome season of Southland on TNT. And you're going lower, lower, lower. Thank you. Now I need to get lower.
Morning.
I am trying
to get us in trouble by the end of this.
I'm going to go here, a little closer to you. You're not wearing your badge and your weapons, are you?
No, should I be?
Are you happy to see me, or is that you?
I am happy to see you. Is a gun in my pocket? Actually, it's a gun in my pocket.
Yeah, do you want to check that?
Let me introduce everybody here. We've got Kempton, who's hanging out with us from Canada.
Hi, Michael.
We've got Justin, who is in Brighton. He's in the UK.
Hi.
Hey,
Jimmy
how are you?
is here in Koreatown.
What's up, Jimmy?
And hopefully a couple other faces will pop up here. But in the meantime, hey, it's all more for us, right, you guys?
Perfect.
Talking to Michael. So let's talk about Southland. Congratulations, by the way. I mean, Southland, which is, thought in the beginning was going to be canceled, made a huge comeback. Well, not even a comeback. It was always really very popular. We never really understood why. NBC.
Well, that was more of a just a scheduling decision, to be perfectly honest. And NBC never came out and said, we don't like the show, we're canceling it, or the numbers aren't great, or this and that. It really all came down to a time slot with Conan and David Letterman and not David Leno. Sorry. Maybe if they'd gone with Letterman, they would be in a different position.
Perhaps.
The old decisions come back to haunt you. The 10 o'clock time slot just went away. So all of their 10 o'clock shows were canceled. They were going to move us to 9 o'clock, and then they just realized that the content of the show couldn't be supported.
I feel like it was a great move to go to TNT because, on cable, you get to do really a lot more than you can on network.
No, I think from a creative standpoint, everyone's much more happy because it's just the nature of network television is so much different than cable. And the studio system and the network system, all the notes and all the changes that they have to, they kind of have to appeal to everyone, and in the process you wind up appealing to no one. So everything gets sort of homogenized. And there are some shows that thrive in that, and ours was a show that would not have done well in that over time.
Particularly dealing with the LAPD, you need to, it's a lot rawer and a lot, I think, more real because of your move to TNT. I know it's my opinion. If you guys have any questions, it's just us, so we'll just do a round robin. Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
Bear with me because I think my microphone's been kind of sucking lately. But you guys were filming an episode of Southland down by the Japanese village a while back. And there was a really tall guy with a great big beard, heavyset guy, bald head. Yes,
he's our AD.
Yes, we did an Alicia Keys video together way back. I was an extra in the Alicia Keys video, and I went back around the block to say hi to him, and you guys had already packed up, so it must have been the end of your shoot. So.
Well, it probably was the middle of our day. We hit so many locations during the day. We were very, very, very fast.
Well, my question was if he was a regular working on the set with you, and I have to tell you, congratulations on Southland. It's a great show.
Thank you very much. Two things on that. Milos is our first AD who does every odd episode, so he works every other episode.
Every other.
Yeah, and the interesting little bit of trivia with Milos is that the last season, Lucy Liu played Officer Tang, who we start out the episode or the season where she gets beaten in this brutal attack. Milos is actually the suspect that comes out of the car and beats her.
Oh, in front of the camera.
He was in front of the camera.
Wow.
He's huge. He's like 6'4" with this great big.
Like 6'100", 700 pounds. He's he's huge. And gentle, probably the most gentle person you would ever want to meet.
Isn't that the case? Like the bigger you are, it's
because you don't have to prove anything.
More of a teddy bear you are.
Because he knows he could crush you.
Exactly.
He reminds me of that wrestler. I think Hacksaw Jim Duggan or something. The wrestler.
Yeah.
It looks like the wrestler.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, Michael. So I want to ask you about your working methods and whatnot. So did you talk to the LAPD actual police a lot, and did they actually come up to you and give you the great episode and this and that, and what was that relationship with the actual police like?
We have a really good relationship with the LAPD right now, and hopefully we'll maintain that. But everyone in the cast in the training process, we did ride-alongs, we did range time. We had 2 weeks of training with actual officers who are retired and on the job. I always speak for the silent minority. I'm sure there are officers out there who don't care for what we're doing on the show and don't like the show, but I don't think too many people are going to hunt us out and tell us that. We do get on a very large scale, we do get a lot of compliments on the show and how we sort of represent and portray what happens out there in the streets.
Do you have any opinions, or what's your reaction to the whole controversy that this accused cop killer has brought up these charges against the LAPD? And did you see anything at all like that remotely close to what he's talking about?
No, that doesn't mean things don't happen, but no, not at all. It's that's one of those things that I think that's why they've reopened the investigation. I think that they're gonna, a lot of things are gonna come out as to actually really, what happened, things that weren't talked about before. I think this is a very different LAPD than existed even 10 years ago.
It's like you couldn't even write this. It just seems so
that's crazy.
Like in a movie.
There's 9,000 people, 9,000 cops. There's a lot of officers out there, and they're not all going to be angels. So, but I've never ever, nothing even close. The men and women that we work with on a daily basis are just amazing people giving their lives to the service of the city.
Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the ride-alongs. Obviously, to do research for parts, you need to get things right. But do you ever feel doing things like riding along with the actual force is going beyond the call of duty as an actor? Because you're putting yourself not necessarily in the firing line, but in certain situations that you wouldn't normally find yourself in, just purely for research.
We are protected. The way the program works here in Los Angeles is you don't go with technically a first responder. They ride 2 to a car in Los Angeles. What you typically would do is you'd ride with a sergeant. He's 1 to a car, and they will arrive after everything has sort of been settled down and assessed. So if there's something very hot that you're coming into, they will make sure that you are not the first people there. And if it's a situation they don't think you should be around because it could go sideways or something could happen, they don't bring you there.
What was the craziest scene that you went on a ride along that you saw?
They were all pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah, there was I'll find a short one. I think because a lot of them are very protracted. The most interesting thing that I found out is that usually what comes over the radio is not really what's happening. So whoever's calling in third party or whoever's reporting something, either the person reporting it is lying about what's happening or the person who's observing what's going on has no idea what's happening and they just know something's wrong. So when they get things over the radio, they don't really know what they're responding to. Wow. And it's pretty insane.
It's just wild, really. Campton, yes.
Yeah, Michael. With the interaction with the police again, what are some of the things that before you actually deal with them or talk with them or ride along with them, you would have acted a different way, and then like you change the most by riding with them, either be holding a gun or talking or even walking.
Probably the weapons training and what they call command presence, how you deal with suspects or people that are in question, how you position yourself in a building to have advantage, how you keep your distance with people. There's a lot of things that you don't really understand as a civilian that officers do just instinctually that keep themselves safe, and we got sort of privy to that information, and they were very gracious about sharing that sort of stuff with us.
Yeah, very cool.
So how many seasons? This is season 4 or 5?
Yeah.
5. Wow. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
That's a long time.
What can we expect with your character this coming season? What are we? Any surprises? Any spoilers? No spoilers.
I think I'm pretty good about not doing spoilers these days. I get yelled at so many times from amazing people who are fans and supporting the show, and then you just spill something ridiculous, and they're like, "Why did you tell me that?"
Why did you say that?
I would just say that everyone in the show, we get sort of more glimpses at the personal lives, how the crime, the daily crime, and the grind of this job affects them, personally, both at home and their personal relationships with their partners on the job. We go a lot more into the home life and the personal lives of all these officers.
Mm. What about you as an actor? What else is coming down the pipeline? Do you have some projects on hiatus?
I do. Yeah, I shot this summer. I shot the Cesar Chavez film that Diego Luna directed.
Okay.
So I spent some time in Mexico, which was amazing. Amazing. We're out in Sonora. It was just a phenomenal experience, a phenomenal cast and crew. And I think that's coming out in the summer or end of summer.
Excellent.
Very cool.
I also have a film that I produced and starred in coming out this summer called The Grief Tourist.
The Brief?
Grief.
Oh, The Grief Tourist.
Grief
what is that?
Tourist. It's a story of this one I have to make sure I don't spoil because I haven't talked about this in a while. It's a story of a man who is obsessed with serial killers.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's sort of his journey, how he finds from something that was taken from him as a child, how he rediscovers intimacy. And Melanie Griffith's in it. And it's really an amazing script written by a friend of mine, Frank John Hughes, who I was in Band of Brothers with. And we shot that 2 years ago, finally got it finished, and it's going to appear in theaters. We're waiting for the details literally as we speak for that to be finalized, but it's going to be in theaters this summer.
Fantastic. The Grief Tourist. I'm interested in that. I'm kind of obsessed with the show Dexter and serial killers.
This might be a little more than you.
More than I'm used to.
Katie's not going to watch.
Got time for one more question?
Yes, go ahead, Kempton.
So Michael, obviously Southland is a very serious drama series. Are there other genres, for example, comedy or musical that you want to do?
Musical theater?
I've done more musical
live theater
than I should be doing.
You can't sing.
No,
seriously.
I can't.
No?
I can't sing and I can't dance. And so I realized the interesting story growing up. That's all they did in my town was musical theater, so that was the only place I could do theater.
In town, you speak of in town. You grew up in the East Coast.
Yeah.
In New York.
And I was born in New York and raised in Lakewood, New Jersey.
Ah, okay. Did you always want to be an actor ever since you were a kid?
Ever since I was a kid.
Who influenced you? Was it your parents? Were they in it or?
No.
What?
Just a random dream, I guess, that became a reality.
Did you grow up watching, a show and then said, I want to do that? And
no, I just everything. My mom said I used to get up in front of the TV and reenact the commercials while they're going on. So I don't really remember that, but I believe her.
Was there ever a time where you were pursuing acting and thought, you know what, this is too hard. I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna go back to the construction site. I don't know.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, I think every actor goes through that on a monthly basis.
Still, no.
Really? I think every actor, there's in this business, there's a fear that it's every job is your last job.
Really?
You don't really, because it's not, your careers are not necessarily cumulative. So one thing doesn't necessarily launch you into another. You don't really know where something's going to take you. You think about it. People who are in some of your favorite shows, amazing talents, people that you loved and thought would work forever, and sometimes they just go away.
Really?
I'm sure some people choose to get out, but there's a lot of choices that are made for you as an actor. You don't have a lot of power until you get into a different level than where I'm working now.
Yeah, I always like to ask that question because we have a lot of actors or people who want to be in this industry, and I always ask what your advice would be to give them as they're going on auditions. And
just don't give up.
Don't give up.
There's enough people out there who want to keep you out of work. Don't be one of them.
Exactly.
Awesome. I like that.
All right, you guys.
like that.
Listen, watch out for Michael in Southland on TNT, which airs on what's today? Tonight, yeah, tonight, Wednesday night. And will you take a quick photo with us before you go?
Sure.
Will you guys take a quick photo? Hey, Gracie. Gracie also lives here in the Yucca Valley. Good morning to you. Okay, so here's the camera right here.
So when is Southland the musical coming out?
Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Show by Stephen Bochco.